I'm Eric, and this is the Salsa Warbird. So, as you can see here, I have chosen for my gravel bike this year the Salsa Warbird. And why did I choose that? Because it was the only gravel bike that I could find. It's a crazy year, it's the pandemic. Everyone's talking about this, everybody knows this. There are no bikes anywhere. You go to any bike shop and there's maybe like a little kid's 24-inch bike and that's it. Or you can maybe get a unicycle. That's about all that they have at bike shops right now. There's nothing else. So I was really looking for a gravel bike. Becky and I had gotten into mountain biking, AKA I got into mountain biking and tried to make Becky get into mountain biking. She wasn't liking it, she wasn't having any fun when we went, but we always loved doing our roadie rides. And so I thought to myself, maybe the perfect combo here of a little bit of dirt, still kind of like a roadie, is we try this gravel thing that everyone's getting into. So we decided, let's go get a couple gravel bikes. She ended up with a really awesome Obed boundary. Go check out that video for more information on that. We had this bike of hers, this REI bike that we had purchased with a bunch of REI gift cards that she got as a cool perk from her job. And we took that one back because she just wasn't into mountain biking. So we returned Becky's mountain bike from REI. We have this fat stack of REI gift card points to use, and we're trying to figure out what we're gonna use it for, which honestly for us isn't that hard because we love the outdoors, so we could easily spend crazy amounts of money at REI. But I had this return money, I wanted a gravel bike, I'm surfing the web, I'm on REI's website, and I see it. I see this bike and I think, maybe that's my gravel bike. And I click on it and sure enough, they have it in a 57.5, which is perfectly the right size for me. And I tell Becky, I think we should pull the trigger on this bike. And we did. And honestly, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure when I bought it. I didn't know a lot about it. I'd looked into a lot of other stuff. I was looking at Canyon Grails. I was looking at Salsa Cutthroats. I was looking at all kinds of gravel bikes online. I was changing every day what I wanted. So I didn't really know. I just knew I wanted something carbon, something fast, something fun to climb on the dirt. And so I saw this and I said, you know what, let's do it, let's jump on it. So the specific Warbird that I purchased is actually the lowest spec model they make. It's the Apex 1. So this is your cheapest entry point into getting a Warbird, a Salsa Warbird. And just from my past buying experiences with road bikes and other things, I actually think that's a kind of smart way to go because you can always upgrade those parts later. And sure, it's cheaper to get them on the front end, but you can never change your frame. So I'd rather get a lowest spec bike with a really great frame that I could build up later than I would dump a ton of money on like an okay frame with great parts on it, because you just can't change the frame. You could upgrade everything else. So I'm really happy that I went with this one. So let me walk you through a little bit about what's on this bike. So this is the Salsa Warbird. It's a fully carbon frame. It's got the Apex 1 group set on it. And it actually came, the one big adjustment that I've made is it came with mechanical disc brakes. I wasn't too sure about that, I was worried about it. It arrived and after one ride I immediately decided that's not gonna happen for me. The mechanical disc brakes were fine for cruising around town, but I took it down a pretty gnarly dirt descent here in Santa Barbara and immediately realized a guy my size needs a lot more stopping power. And so with Becky's permission, I invested in some nice brakes and I've upgraded this bad boy to the SRAM Rival disc brakes and haven't looked back. The hydraulic disc brake installation process was a little tricky, but once we figured it out after a little bit of trial and error, we've been really happy with these things, and now I have no problem stopping on a dime with this bike, and I feel just a lot more confident out there riding on the trails. The bike came stock on these Terravale Cannonball 700 by 42C tires. Honestly, I wasn't too excited about them when they came on there. That's just what they ran with, but they've been great so far. They honestly do look a little thin for 42. For me, I think that maybe other tires just look a little bulkier. That could be the wheel set that's on the bike, but they've been great. I got them and I thought, oh, I'm gonna change that right away. But so far, no need to change them. I feel like I have a lot of grip. I have a lot of experience to gain before I feel like I need new tires on there. The wheels the bike came with, I don't even know exactly what models they are. They're the WTB STs. Those have also been great. They're not really light. Like I said, if I was to upgrade this in the future, probably the first things that I would change now that I've got those hydraulic brakes on, I would definitely throw on a way better wheel set with a lot better hubs. And that brings me to kind of my big point. I've had one huge problem with this bike, and that's been I've been getting some really horrible noise in the rear hub. At first I thought maybe I did something or somehow messed it up. I didn't know. I took it back to REI. I said, okay, hey, look at this. They listened to it. They said, yeah, this is wrong. It's this grindy, nasty noise coming from the hub. They said they fixed it. They said they got new parts. I rode out of the bike shop about a day or two later. The noise is back. And so that's just kind of a perpetual issue that I've been having with these hubs. So the hubs that came on here are the WTB Sarah hubs. I don't know much about them, honestly. They're just the ones that came on this bike. So maybe that's the problem. Maybe the problem is REI's bike shop isn't that good. They're really friendly, but they don't always seem like they know a lot of what's going on. So I might take this bad boy into a nicer local bike shop. Some of the ones I like to use here in Santa Barbara, like Bicycle Bob's or something like that, and see if I can get it dialed in. But that's definitely been the one big issue. This bike comes with the Apex 1 group set, which is running the SRAM Apex 1x. That's another thing where I don't know how I feel about it yet. I was really excited for a 1x bike when I ordered this. I love the 1x on my mountain bike rig, and I thought, well, 1x on gravel just makes sense. Dirt, 1x, it's simple, right? That's true, simple is great, but I'm definitely not getting the range of gearing that Becky's getting on her 2x GRX system. This one I think is running a 42 in the front, and it runs an 11 to 42 cassette in the back. And so really that just gives me a 1-to-1 ratio, which when I'm just on the gravel bike's been fine, but we did a recent bike packing trip, and I definitely felt like on anything over 10% gradient, I really would like a little bit more gearing. Honestly, that could be a lot. My fitness just needs to get better. That could be that if I lose a few pounds, this gearing is going to be great. Or it could be that I just need a little better gearing. So there's some things I could do down the road to change that. But for now, I'm in no hurry. I'm just going to keep on working on riding this bike and getting stronger. And I really love it. I bought this bike kind of on a whim and thought, I don't know, maybe it'll be great, maybe it won't. But I have no intentions of changing it out. I'm really happy with it. I think it has great potential for upgradability later. And so far I've just had a blast on it. Gravel is that perfect mix of riding on the dirt, riding on the street. I love that I could hop out our front door, jump on the gravel bike, cruise through town. And then when I see a gravel line that I want to hit, turning off the pavement, hitting some dirt, hitting a single track trail, you could do that on this bike. It's kind of best of both worlds. It's been really fun. Just to kind of fully cover all the changes I've made on my specific ride, in case you're looking at one of these and might want a clue about what you're not gonna like. The big thing I did is the mechanical disc brakes had to go. I put the SRAM Rival hydraulic disc brakes on. Wouldn't go back. Stick with hydraulic disc brakes, you need the power. The other thing I did is you have to pick pedals. They're the Crank Brothers double shot 2s, I believe. And so they're kind of nice because you could have your clipless on one side and then run flats on the other. I use this bike also for commuting sometimes, so it's nice to have the flat pedals on one side. But then when you're out and you be using the clipless, it's a little tricky sometimes to find the right side. I'm still working that out, but I think they're a good solution, and they definitely look really good in this orange color on this Salsa Warbird, so it had a little bit to do with why I picked them. The only other thing that I think that I've done to modify this bike, I threw some new bar tape on. Honestly, just for the look of it. I found this on Amazon. You could find it a lot of different places. I just was trying to put something a little different, make my bike look a little unique. But I really like the grip of this tape, and I'll throw a link in the description of which specific one it is, and so you could get that too. But not needed. The original grip tape was fine. I had no issues with it, but I just like the look of this bar tape a little bit better. If you have any questions about the Salsa Warbird, definitely drop them down in the comment section and we'll try to get back to you. Also, as time goes by, I'll try to do a more in-depth review on the bike after I've had it for a while. And so if you have some good questions in there, I'll try to incorporate that in the review of the bike. But really, I love it. I can't wait to take it out more. If you like this video and you like this type of content, reviews on bikes and bike checks, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. We'd love to know that people like this stuff and we can make more. We definitely have no shortage of bikes to review, and maybe we can get our hands on some other ones to check out for you too.